Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with American Vineyard Magazine, and today we'd like to give special recognition to a great leader, mentor, and friend of the California grape industry, Nat DiBuduo, who has just retired after 18 years of dedicated service as president of Allied Grape Growers. Nat has strong Italian agricultural roots and grew up here in the Central Valley farming grapes with his family and the Papagnis. And he's been a blessing to his community and the agricultural industry throughout his life. And here's some words from a few of his friends, family, and co-workers to talk about the impact he had on them.
I'll begin with the fact that I've had the opportunity not only to work with Nat over my professional career, but also I've known Nat a good portion of my life. And Nat's just been an incredible individual that has helped not only, we're talking the ag industry today, but Nat's been involved in so many other aspects of the community, been very, very involved with the community, and has always lended a helping hand whenever it's needed. But I think the one thing that Nat is, when you talk about his legacy, particularly with Allied Grape Growers, I look at what he's done for moving the organization onto the issue side of things. It's one thing to be really stuck in what they do on the marketing side for wine grapes, but they've moved to where helping growers on compliance issues and being involved with so many of our industry groups like Farm Bureau and DC Farmers League. And that's really going to be a legacy that's going to stick for a long time, just because it's meant so much to his growers and meant so much to the industry partners like ourselves.
Yeah, and I think that would be the same that I would say from the standpoint of Nat, knowing as long as I have with the DC Farmers League. He goes clear back to Cesar Chavez, the UFW, and Cesar, Harry Kubo, Don Laub, many others that were part of that movement. Nat was one of those strong persons that helped make sure the workers were being protected correctly, and that he really cared about the farmers. And then as Nat grew into Allied Grape Grower, as Ryan said, absolutely cared about the farmers to make sure the pricing was what it needed to be, and to always make sure that if farmers were going to do something with wine grapes, that there was always a discussion of how this impacted the raisin industry, how it impacted regulations. Nat was one of those guys that comes from the old school of communications, and his word was his honor. I mean, he would say something and he would follow through with it. He would never waffle. Nat was a tremendous young man today even. Nat's been a great person for our community, even with when we have to deal with county permits for land use. Nat was there to be on those committees, those tough committees. A great young man, and even on immigration, whenever I needed anything. Hey Nat, I've got this activity going on. How many bottles of wine do you need? He was so gracious in all of that, and I will always think of Nat as being one of those guys that worked with all of us. And but when he took a position, and he would never waffle from it.
On behalf of the Board of Directors, staff, and management of the Big Fresno Fair and the Friends of the Fair, Nat, I want to congratulate you on your retirement today and this wonderful event that you're experiencing today. I hope it's something that you'll always remember. I want to thank you personally for your many, many contributions to our community, and most importantly to our fair and both museums. Over the years, you've been a leader, a mentor to me, and I deeply, deeply appreciate it. A lot of people don't know that the governor appointed you for 8 long years to be here on the board of directors and guide and be a good steward of the land here at the fairgrounds, and you've been on the Friends of the Fair for over 12 years. The Friends of the Fair, as everyone knows, is the fundraising arm of the fair, and if you look at the history and look at the numbers, Nat holds that #1 position in raising the most money and doing the most for the Friends of the Fair. So thank you for that as well. Few people that I have known in this business, and I've been a fair CEO for 33, 34 years, dealt with a lot of directors. Few have the passion and the desire and the dedication that you have. And it's been a treat and an honor to work with you for many, many years. I refer to you, Nat, as the Italian pit bull. And years ago, I used to be a really, really nice guy before I came to Fresno. Then I met you, and I kind of picked up some of your traits. of being that pit bull. I think it's made me a better business person. But again, I'm very proud that you are the Italian pit bull of Fresno. It's a privilege and an honor to have worked with you. I'm blessed to have you on the board now and currently working with us again at the fair. And I would have to say, personally, I'm more blessed because you're a good friend. I want to wish you many years of happiness in retirement, and God bless you and your family. I think this retirement is a bunch of BS. You know and I know that you're never going to retire. There's always going to be that ranch to list, another one to sell, and another job to go to, and another fundraiser, and someone else to help in the community.
Nat and I have been friends a long time, and I've worked closely with him in the different Farm Bureau and at Allied and other things that he's been involved in. All the hard work that Nat has done at Fresno State, no one's ever going to be able to match what the time and effort that Nat's put into this grape industry and for agriculture in general. And even though he might be retiring, I don't believe it. He's still going to be around, still pushing the envelope, still working in behalf of the growers of this great San Joaquin Valley. So Nat, I wish you the best. We all love you, and me especially, and you've always had my back.
I'd really like to thank Nat for his investment in me personally and the other employees at Allied, many of which have been at Allied working under him for very many years. He's been a great mentor for all of us. He's set a great example every day for us as we came in the office and did our jobs. And the team that we have built there is one that is his legacy, and I think that we will be very successful with in the future. So Nat, thank you for all that you've done for Allied Grape Growers and for me personally.
When I think of my brother Nat, the words that come to my mind are sensitive and loyal and passionate. If you're a friend of Nat's or a relative of his, you know that he will stand up for you, stand by you, and fiercely protect you. And these qualities have been Nat's since the day I was born. Nat was a role model for me growing up. I got to see him from the sidelines, first at Fresno State, then United Cerebral Palsy, and the Fresno Planning Commission. And I saw that no matter how civically minded he was, family came first. If someone has a need, Nat is always there to help them out, whether it be a nephew who needs some help, or a coworker, or even wine for an event. He always makes it a priority to meet the needs.
I met Nat in 1971. A girlfriend and I were on our way to college, 2 classes, and he drove up in a car right next to us and waved. And I said to the girl, "Who is that?" And she said, "Oh, that's Nat DiBuduo. He waves at everybody." And that's just him. He's just personable and he loves people. It didn't take too long after we first started dating that I found 3 passions of his. One was family. He loved his mom and dad. They were great role models for him, and he always wanted to make them proud. He's very close to his brother and 3 sisters and his large extended family, and that's always been very important to him. The second was Italian. He was so proud of his Italian heritage from his grandparents and being from Italy. That was just something so special to him. And the third is his love of agriculture and the community. And that has obviously been talked about and displayed in so many of the different things he's been involved in. So yes, he loves family, but his pride and joy are his children. We have Nicole, Marcus, and Annalise. And along the way they married. Of course, the best thing that they ever did was to give us grandchildren, as you know. So we have 5 adorable grandchildren, and they are the love of his life. And I'm hoping that in retirement he's going to have a little more time to spend with them. Over the years, this love of family is also extended to friends and professional relationships too. If you were a friend of Nat, he treated you as if you were his flesh and blood. There isn't anything he wouldn't do for you. Just a couple weeks ago on Father's Day, he got a call from the man who shines shoes at the car wash, and he wanted to call and wish him a happy Father's Day. That's how much he meant to him. Nat just treasures relationships, and the people treasure him back. Throughout Nat's life, I think his heart's desire would have been to own land. He would have planted a vineyard, and that's That's, I think, what he's missed all these years. But throughout all of his professional career, he has treated every person that he's worked with as if their land was his. Every contract he negotiated for Allied Grape Growers, everything he did, he knew exactly, he values land so much that he knew exactly how much effort and resources it took to grow those grapes all year round. And he knew he better get the best possible price he could for them because that's their livelihood. It was as if it was his. He rejoiced with them, and he commiserated with them because he just values the land and the relationship so much. Family may be Nat's real passion, but agriculture and community really run a close second. So, in conclusion, Nat, your family and I love you so much. We're very proud of you. And I'm going to tell you that if your mom and dad were here, your dad's chest would have been puffed out and your mom would have had this big smile from ear to ear because they would have been very proud of you too. Well done.
I wholeheartedly agree. Nat has been a great mentor and friend to work with over the years for me and my family at Malcolm Media, and he will be greatly missed. Read more about Nat and his contributions to the community and the California grape industry in the June issue of American Vineyard Magazine. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.